J.D. Vance's story begins in a small, struggling town in the heart of Appalachia, where the weight of poverty and hardship hung heavy over every household. Middletown, Ohio, wasn't a place filled with opportunities, but rather a place where dreams often seemed too far out of reach. J.D.'s early years were defined by the turbulence of his family life, his mother, struggling with addiction, and his father, often absent. These personal battles would become the silent force that shaped J.D.'s character. Despite the instability in his home life, J.D. found solace in the idea that education could be his ticket out of this world. It wasn't easy. At times, it felt as though his dreams were futile against the reality of his surroundings. Yet there was an undeniable fire in him, a determination that, no matter what, he was not. When J.D. graduated from high school, he found himself staring at a path that few people from his community took: the path to Yale University. The transition was overwhelming. Coming from a small, impoverished town to the prestigious halls of one of the world's most respected institutions was nothing short of jarring. J.D. wasn't accustomed to a world where everyone spoke the same language of success, ambition, and privilege. His background felt like an invisible wall, one that threatened to prevent him from truly belonging. But J.D.'s time at Yale would become a battle between two parts of himself: the ambitious student fighting for his place in this new world, and the boy from Middletown, always questioning if he truly belonged. He struggled with imposter syndrome, wondering if he was smart enough, worthy enough. Every step forward felt like an uphill climb. Yet, in these moments of doubt, J.D. began to realize something powerful. It was not just his academic success that mattered. It was his story, the story of people like him that needed to be told. At Yale, J.D. was forced to confront not only his academic challenges, but also the stark differences between the world he came from and the world he now inhabited. The more he learned, the more he realized that his success would not just be for him. It would be for the forgotten, for the people in his hometown who had been overlooked and dismissed by the political and economic systems in place. He began to understand that to truly change his life, he had to change the conversation about his community and the people who, like his family, had been left behind. J.D.'s experiences at Yale, the constant push-pull between his background and the world around him, ignited a fire within him. He no longer saw himself as just another student in a prestigious university. He saw himself as a representative of the people who had been silenced. His story was no longer just his own. It was a collective story of resilience, hardship, and the relentless pursuit of a better life. This realization became J.D.'s purpose: to bridge the gap between the elite and the working class, to show the world that the struggles of his community were worth acknowledging. In 2016, J.D. Vance's life took a pivotal turn when he wrote Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir that would not only change his life, but also spark a national conversation. The book was raw, emotional, and brutally honest, delving into the pain, the struggles, and the complexities of growing up in a working-class, rural environment. Through his personal story, J.D. uncovered the broader narrative of America's forgotten middle class, the people who had been left behind as the country marched forward into the 21st century. Hillbilly Elegy became a New York Times bestseller, and J.D.'s voice resonated with millions of Americans who felt that their struggles were invisible to the rest of the world. For J.D., it wasn't about the fame or accolades. It was about shining a light on the challenges that had been ignored for too long. He didn't just want to tell his story, he wanted to amplify the voices of those who felt they had none. This was the beginning of J.D.'s transformation from an author to an advocate. J.D.'s journey didn't stop at writing a book. He knew that if he truly wanted to bring about change, he needed to take action on a larger scale. In 2022, he made the decision to run for public office in Ohio, seeking to give a voice to the communities that had shaped him. J.D.'s campaign was not about personal ambition. It was about representing the people who had been overlooked for too long, the ones who had no seat at the table. As he traveled across the state, J.D. encountered the same struggles, the same challenges, and the same resilience that had shaped his own life. He spoke directly to the working-class families, reminding them that their voices mattered. It wasn't just about political promises. It was about restoring dignity to a forgotten group of Americans. J.D.'s candidness and connection to the people made him not just a politician, but a leader who understood the true needs of the community. JD's story is one of resilience, determination, and the unwavering belief that no matter where you come from, you can change your destiny. He faced unimaginable obstacles and doubts, yet he never gave up. His rise wasn't just a personal victory, it was a victory for all those who had been told they would never make it. His journey proved that with hard work, grit, and a deep connection to one's roots, it is possible to defy the odds. Through all his success, J.D. Vance never forgot where he came from. He stayed grounded in his values, continuously striving to make a difference for others, especially those who shared his background. His story wasn't just about overcoming adversity, it was about using his platform to fight for the people who had supported him along the way. JD's legacy is a reminder that true greatness comes not just from lifting oneself up, but from lifting others with you. If you like this story, please don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories. Remember, sometimes a small act of kindness can completely change a life.